Betwixt the raising of the undying emperor and the great planar war that shook the heavens, there was an age of contradiction, where cannons won kingdoms and muskets kept the peace. A brave few won the hearts of the conquered and conquerors alike. Of these we speak of the decline of the great kingdoms and cultures under the heel of empire. Of those we speak of gladiators and the untold thousands that worshipped them. Of this an age of glory, where kings would be slaves and a gladiator would be king.
Good evening and welcome to Die Drug and Die presents the Dread and Circus campaign season 4 episode 6. I'm your DM and host Marty, joined by Adam, Mark, and Ahmed. I think that was 6. We're at 6? We're at 6. How's everyone doing tonight? What's going on? What's going on in your worlds?
I am sore because I was pulling a school bus today and it was fun to pull the school bus, but school buses are really heavy.
Was it the type of school bus that Ahmed would have driven or been on, as a kid, or is it was it a full-size school bus?
It was a short bus. The school bus was about 12,000 pounds.
So were there people on it and they knew you were pulling it, or?
No.
There's a strong man pulling the bus!
We were sitting in the parking lot and we had blocks and it was not over arm pull, so not with the harness, so it was the hard way to pull it. It was fun.
Just bite the chain
But
and run.
I am very sore, and then I ate a whole bunch of pizza as a reward, or because I was super hungry and they had pizza on sale at the grocery store, so I bought like the nasty grocery store pizza.
It was wrong.
Don't judge me.
Not that you ate a bunch of it, that you ate the wrong kind.
Well, see, I was trying to be back in time for game, and then Ahmed was like slow or something. So
Okay.
Mark was making it Sunday.
Mark, how's it going? Are you hopped up on ice cream goodness, or?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I just finished my chocolate ice cream with chocolate chips, chocolate syrup, and unicorn sprinkles to make it magical. And that makes me a hero, by the way, because I had that for supper. I don't remember how.
Hashtag first world hero.
I know, man.
Yeah, I kind of pulled my back because I was helping my kids teaching my kids how to ride a bike. Both of them. And, yeah, chasing kids while hunched over and holding a bike, making sure they don't fall, will get you after 20 minutes or so.
You hurt your back?
I'm hurting. Afterwards, I'm like, oh, god damn it, what the...
See, when you guys keep telling me I'm going to hurt my back, it's two 30-pound kids.
Oh, it's not the...
Yeah, but you're not
your
lifting
hunched
weights going, oh!
You're hunched over and running as fast as they're... I'm trying to hold on, I'm like, god damn it. Like,
You're not trying to not drop the weights on your dogs. I'm guessing the dogs aren't around when you're lifting weights.
My dogs are.
No.
And I was using a butter knife as a screwdriver like half an hour ago.
This story ends well.
I'm sure of it.
And a split second before, my wife was like, careful, you'll cut yourself.
You're not even allowed to complain at that point, because all you get is that I told you so.
It did 1 damage, Ahmed.
It's like, oh, that looks like it hurts. I held that pose for like a good 5 seconds.
So what you're saying is you're ready to have lots of patience and play Arlen as he talks to his worshippers and sets the ground
yeah,
rules
it's gonna
for a
be
religion. Yeah,
What are you
okay.
laughing?
Yeah.
There's definitely not going to be a psycho religion on the loose. Blessed be those who use a spoon to butter your bread. For the butter knife is from sin.
So what did I do this past weekend? Oh yeah, that's right. I was at PaizoCon. I played some second edition, like the actual rules that will be delivered. It is better than the playtest. I didn't see a lot of it because we played in this one scenario just a group of 4 fighters, and we did 11 fights in 4 hours.
Oh, that's.
And we leveled up in between each, but it basically everything went up by 1. I don't know if those were the actual rules or just to make it quicker. But we got random feats, and by the end of it, all 4 of the fighters at the table felt and acted completely different. So
They're all fighters.
we were all fighters. Yep.
So there's like a sword and board, and a 2-weapon fighter, and an archer.
An archer, and I ended up getting a special power where I could shoot a ghost out of my chest every time I raged.
So you were a barbarian.
I turned into a rage barbarian that had a ghost inside of him, so it was pretty funny. But we ended up being the thing. It's like it ended up kind of like being the thing that's like, well, this does more damage than everything else I have. Yeah. There are parts that I need to wait until the thing comes out, and then we've got time off in August where your copies of the core rulebooks have been pre-ordered and will be delivered to Sudbury. Yeah, you're welcome. 640 pages. I figure the 3 of us over 3 or 4 days flipping
So
through
you
these
want to
books.
know how come I've been going to the gym and training to be strong? It's to
Right.
carry this book home.
No, it's to carry all 3 of the copies and the bestiary for us because we're weak.
and apparently Alvin has a bad back.
Right. Marty just sits at work and taps his mouse all day.
I can't do it anymore. I have to take some vacation.
What'd you do? Butter knife? Yeah, those could be dangerous.
What happened now? You got a butter knife. Oh, fuck. Gonna be out for a month.
Foxfire had asked if he could build some of the NPCs. I'm not going to say where or when, but there are a couple of builds that are sitting in my inbox. Thanks for doing that. Yep. Let's do a quick recap of what happened last game. It's actually a pretty straightforward game. It was called Old School, episode 405. In the Civic Arena, the Circus of Dread gladiators battle venomous beasts brought by the visiting Duke of Kazdarek. I think that was it. I think at the end of the Wyvern fight, where Ugg almost died.
That was nasty.
The wyvern fight was really fun. Like
That was actually pretty good.
The ungeared kind of like. That was fun.
That was pretty good.
Yes,
Except for them trying to actually murder, but I mean.
And then the I really enjoyed the back and forth between the Wyvern handler. Mm-hmm. The telepathic communication with Arlen when he was bidding on your gladiators.
75K. See, this is why Ashoka isn't like. Ashoka's like, I'll take Magnus, we'll give you 80,000.
Really?
You make it 100.
It's 80 without his gear. You know that, right?
Different motivations. Different motivations for the character.
Think of how many more carpets you could have bought.
It's like another large one. Just like sewn together.
You go to Arlen's house. It's like garage with just rolled up carpets.
It's one of those like those street signs where it's just like this Persian carpet thing where you're just like Persian carpets.
Crossing.
Price of 2.
Oh, silly. I think right after the fight, Arlen took his gladiators and went home, basically to Terra's Lean, and I think that's where we resume. Now, by the time that Arlen and the others get back to Terra's Lean, Zira, Renee, Zeta, Murgovane, etc., that group has already left. There may have been some stuff you wanted to do right before you leave, but we'll leave that. We'll deal that for another time.
We have separated the streams.
Yes, we have separated the streams.
Now I can just focus on not being sore in the morning. All right, Arlen, Take me someplace nice, Arlen.
All right, so I'm gonna drag Zeta, Murgovane, Widget, Zira, Zrake. Did you take Zrake with you or not, Murgovane?
No,
You left Zrake
no,
here.
he's going to be training.
He's gonna be
He's
training.
even a higher level than Widget.
Renee, Cade, Callie remain behind, so Zrake will end up kind of training with Callie. There's enough money left over that you guys can do that.
Yeah, and Drake, I got him. He's training as a fighter,
Okay.
not a spellcaster.
Not a sorcerer, no.
No, I made a build there last week. He's disgusting as a fighter, or can be.
He's a rogue fighter.
Rogue fighter, yeah.
Rogue fighter's really good. I mean, Renee was
Two weapon rogue fighter, and he's got a little thing on his tail, a spike on his tail. So
Yeah, well, with there's a advanced weapon talent that he's eligible for, where his daggers will do the same damage as the sacred weapon of a
War priest.
war priest. So his little daggers are doing D10.
Nice.
There's something I believe it's called Hunter's Surprise. That's an advanced rogue talent that basically for the next round, all of your melee attacks count as sneak against one foe.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So once that one's in there, then it's the Chopsaki.
hey,
Yeah.
it's your cohort. So I gave you the starting stats of the cohort, and you're able to
I'll work
train.
with it from there. Yeah.
Yep.
El Stabbo. We're gonna call him Stabbo.
Is there a kobold feat that allows two kobolds to stand in the same square, or am I thinking rattling feat
A rattling,
Yeah.
or Nezumi?
Nizumi or rattling, whatever. Yeah.
We would need to find another kobold to stand in the same square.
No, I was almost thinking if it was a series of feats or like a teamwork feat or something like that. I was going to say that Murgovane and his cohort could take that
That would be
as like
Scaly kind.
big lizard, little lizard kind of thing, and you know they're considered flanking the same foe kind of thing when they're in the same.
Who
square.
runs Bada Town? Master Blast.
That sort of thing. Have a look. There might actually be a archetype for fighter that does that for kobold. I was poking around. I didn't read it fully.
I'll look.
Okay, so that means that we are on Citadel by the Lake Palace. I will force you guys there. And there is a group, and Grizaak has, because he had to fight, isn't with the Doomsday group. He was going to catch up with them later. I still not.
We were
clear
just
how-
going to. So we shadow walked away to find the thing. We're just
Yep.
going to teleport back to Terrazline, grab Grizaak, and teleport back.
Got it. Okay, so Grizaak's just going to hang. Is just going to hang out in Citadel. Anyways, you guys have returned after your fighting. What are you doing? Phineas is there. Radamer is there. Your strange lights creatures are there. Are there? Did you brought Beric Tarn back with you?
Yeah, we brought everybody.
Okay.
So one is following Arlen, one's in the Boiling Lake, one's with the caravan, and the other one can actually go with Doomsday Group if they wanted to. Instant communication. Does Zira and Zeta want a light mote following them that can communicate back to the other guys?
Into the shadow plane
Are you guys you're going to find the path into the shadow plane?
by using shadow walk.
Yeah, we don't want to.
Stay with Arlen. So Arlen's got two more.
We're not taking the angel into our like abyss adventure.
I don't feel so good here. Wah, wah, wah.
Okay, so there's only one strange light here, is what I'm hearing.
Boiling Lake, caravan.
And you have 3 or 4 of them.
I have 4.
One stays with the serpent, as I recall.
Right. The Boiling Lake.
So they're located under the leadership in Arlen's.
Perfect. That's exactly what I was going to ask, is for you to keep track of where they are.
That's where they're. One's in. Yeah. Okay. They're there.
Following Arlen, Boiling Lake, Caravan, follow Arlen. So you've got 2 of them following Arlen. One in number 1 and 2.
One in Citadel by the lake.
Okay. Just update that sheet. All right. When you teleport back, the two hovering lights just sort of go and kind of almost like check you out. They sort of come up to you. That you get a feeling that they were scanning you, and then they sort of hover above your head, orbiting. Sparky sparks Grizaak and hovers above Grizaak's head, almost like he's jealous of the lights.
What the fuck are you doing? Hey, down here.
Sparky
Yeah.
zips you a couple of times.
Right. So,
Are you bringing those with you? Says Radamer. They are additional creatures that we will have to teleport.
they can. Sorry, two of them can merge as one, right?
Yep.
And Grizaak is coming along with us.
Sam is going to roll a knowledge planes
Sure.
because I've got the skill and I know things because I'm awesome.
Or so Sam believes.
So there's one town or two towns before we get to.
29 knowledge planes.
Yeah, these are archons. They're called lantern archons. Curious if they're following Arlen. Let me tell you a little bit about lantern archons. They're usually friendly and curious. These ones seem to be really robotic. They're globes of spiritual purity and pale light. They always glow as bright as a torch. Only death can extinguish their light. They're excellent support troops in celestial armies, swarming over weak opponents or teleporting en masse to flanking positions.
Oh my god. An army of those things is horrific.
You know that when 9 of them get together, they can actually turn into like a really large elemental of light. These ones seem to be able to converge, and with your 29, you know that these are no longer... They are probably fallen or rogue lantern archons. Something's kind of like there's something vital about them that is missing.
Hey, Arlen,
Yes, Sam.
what do we call your archons?
Crown. Call them Crown.
Are they all crown, or is it like crown
They
1,
act-
crown 2?
They act as one.
We protect and serve the Arlen.
Sam's going to like whisper, but not
Yeah.
quiet enough to be a true. You know they're broken, right?
They seem fine to me.
Oh, they're not the kind of okay. All right.
Baraktar looks at them. He doesn't really have an opinion about them. Arlen's a priest, and there's priestly things floating around his head. Doesn't care.
If they're coming with us, you might want to bring something to put over your face because they're not turning off. Or maybe you could get like a bag for them. Put them in a bag.
I have papers for them.
Papers?
Papers from Phineas.
No. I mean, like, if we're... Remember when we're camping and we're trying not to be, like, killed by the ghosts? So we hide in the dark?
Yes. You still worry about these things.
Well, yeah, there's a ghost Edward out there who's off doing who knows what.
Speaking of which, Grizaak. Actually,
Grizaak's chasing Sparky
Phineas.
around the room.
Phineas, would we be able to scry on Edward's ghost shadow?
It's no. Well, he's knowledge. What?
Edward,
Spellcraft?
Yeah,
Well, there's
spellcraft. You guys know he's undead, so maybe a knowledge religion because it's.
I'd be better with spellcraft.
knowledge religion. Who the fuck has that?
All right, I'll roll. Knowledge.
How many ranks of knowledge religion do you have?
I have 1 rank.
Okay.
Ditto.
The guy creating religion has
hence
1
the-
rank in religion.
Hence the laws.
And I still get a 31.
Yeah, creatures that transform do not make themselves immune to scrying. He's still a creature, so you should be able to scry upon him. You're not too it depends how sanitary you've kept the items that once belonged to Edward.
His body is still in the
His body is still in the morgue.
that has
Okay.
the
Arlen mentions his body's still in the morgue. Yep, that's something that he probably has a straight connection to. That might help you scry upon him very
Yes.
closely.
I could probably scry on him. Yes.
And then what is your base spellcraft number?
Like,
Just the modifier? What's the
oh,
modifier?
just the modifier is 29.
Right, so you get a 30 if you roll 1. If Edward is on the shadow plane, now last time you saw him, it wasn't, but he's now in part of the shadow army, it will be more difficult to scry upon him because scrying is more difficult across planes.
Yes. I should drink my cognitogen before I try this.
Well, I think I mean I know we have a plan, but I think this would be quite important. If we can take out Edward, if we can search for him and take him out, let his soul rest. Arlen knows it's getting destroyed.
What will it serve?
Not being hunted by Shadow Edward.
Edward was taken some time ago, wasn't he? Is not the
Yes.
damage already done?
Oh, it is. I'd just be interested to see kind of what they're doing.
What bad would it do just to at least know where he is? You know, just in case we're. I mean,
Well, I don't know if
unless he's doing something bad, then I don't want to know.
I didn't prepare one today.
No, have I? I thought we were leaving today.
Yes, no, it just occurred to me. Perhaps tomorrow I could do that.
We won't have his corpse though. That's a very strong connection. Certainly help with the spell.
Just grab his ear, nobody will notice.
Couldn't we take a bit of his hair?
That's disgusting, Sam.
A bit of his hair. Wouldn't that suffice?
Yes.
We are headed to Edward's homeland of Baford. It is next to Cophrania. Perhaps that might be an interesting excuse as we go eastward. Simply returning a man
Bring the
home.
body. Where's your meat wagon?
We are teleporting. I assume. He looks to Arlen.
Yes, we are.
Oh, we're not bringing a caravan of 200 people with us? Why?
Besides, I have sent my followers to occupy Belheim.
Good luck to them. Before we leave, I need to speak with the
Do not
custodian.
worry. I have Renee's permission,
Excellent.
as well as Zira's.
I hope they fare well there.
I think she gave Radamer.
Yeah. Arlen wants to speak to the custodian.
He asked Zira's permission, and Renee was there.
Yeah, right. Yeah. He's going to send his followers to the manor that is occupied, and they might just fan out into the town. Okay, Arlen wants to go talk to Camus
Actually,
Ford.
before he leaves, if it is all right with you, I will want to take a few of the magical weapons, the weaker ones, and give them to some of the people in the caravan in case they encounter some of the shadows. They might be able to defend themselves.
They're here, says Ugg. They're safe here, aren't they?
Yes, I'm going to be sending them out because people are going to be coming in droves from the north. They need help. They need protection.
Ugg shrugs.
Think about it. I'll be back. I'm just going to speak with the custodian.
Arlen's gonna go speak to the custodian. Maybe you can find him.
Okay, you bringing any of the eggheads with you? I mean, the smart guys with you? And who's pushing your chair?
Yeah, Sam.
Well, that's a pusher.
I can also know about the planes.
Are you bringing like the smartest man you know with you?
Yes, bring.
Okay. You're
Are you
leaving.
bringing the player characters to the
Yeah, sorry,
All right. So the three of you, go and speak to Camus Ford. Give me a D100, 20 or lower. You run into somebody else on your way to see Camus Ford.
30.
Okay.
3.
None of any consequence. Some people do take note that you are moving around. Oh yeah, your golden carpet. I'll just move that up with you guys. You find Camus Vord actually in the Peacock Garden. You go and visit him in his in his war room, and he's actually in the Peacock Garden. And,
Oh my, this is quite lovely.
and he is talking to one of the judges. One of the magistrates.
Oh,
Yep, Magistrate Herman Motajunge is there. Yeah, that's probably what's gonna be. That's how he talks. The Peacock Garden is actually quite beautiful, and you can see they're wonderful. You could kind of take a peek into the courthouse, Phineas. You see there are wonderful frescoes of strange beasts.
Ooh, he's just taking in the sights right now.
You think one is called a jub bird? There are pictures of the strange beasts actually near the courthouse. Let's zoom out.
I just need to remember one thing. How many weeks before the season's done?
Oh, you want to have a look at the
You want to make sure we don't get sold.
Yes. I gotta make sure the next place we're going is still within the
Territory?
territory, and if we can get a fight there for everybody.
Okay, that's not what I wanted. Combat sheet, no. Circus of Dread. That's what I want.
I want to fight the Bandersnatch.
So we are in week 46 of the year, and oh no, sorry, we didn't. Give me a second.
Holy shit! There's only 7 weeks left for 2 more fights for everybody. Fuckity fuck.
Okay, so
Don't forget about the end of the world. Doomsday Clerk.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
and Arlen was leading. Beric Tarn was guarding. Arlen was leading. Widget was on his adventure. Who else is here during the week? What did Radamer and Phineas do in the week that Arlen had spent with his men?
Learned spells.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest you learn spells.
Okay, so Phineas, you've got something like another 60 hours of spell learnings. And Radamer had spent the previous week studying that book that you so graciously gave him. Yeah, he probably learned spells as well. I think I copied a bunch from other spell books. Yep. Okay, cool. And then
Oh, I do have scrying prepared. Oh, sorry.
Godiva? What is she up to this week?
She's in the peacock garden with Mr. Prancy Pants trying to outdo the peacocks. Strutting her stuff.
Where is Godiva's miniature? There she is. Okay, she's off to the side. You don't know what the conversation between the Imperial custodian and the magistrate were. But Mr. Prancy Pants is kind of flying and hopping. Can he fly? He flies?
Yeah, he can fly. He's got wings.
Okay, so he's kind of like kind of prancing above this this beautiful pond where there's some water collecting. It's kind of like a foot wading pool. And Godiva had one more week up to week 45 she had been doing ability score training with the resources of the traveling circus. If you wanted, in the week when everyone else was fighting, Godiva could have trained for her gestalt, or she could have retrained that single level of courtesan.
I think we'll go for the 8 levels of bard I want versus the 1 level of summoner.
Yeah, she's a courtesan 1, summoner 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 levels of bard. So that costs some money, and the circus is willing to pay for that, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so you do some.
Can you take it off a sheet, Mark? I don't know how much. I think it's like 7. What is it? 800.
800.
Okay. It was done fast, so it would be doubled.
Oh, so 1,600.
I think we're still in the green.
Yep.
Always put a lean against the carpet.
A lean.
Marty, just a reminder, I did pay off that guy who we bought the carpet from.
It's 1,400 total for the training. That's fast training.
1,400?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cheaper. Yeah, 200 back to back.
And sorry, what did you say, Ahmed?
The carpet guy, I owed him another 15 talents.
Okay, and you
I
paid
took
that
it
out
off.
of your out of the ludus funds.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so we're all cut up. Unwin's just at the Citadel doing Unwin things, and the rest of the party has already split. Okay, so now, well, that actually ends the week for the Circus of Dread when you had done the fighting. Give me a percentile. This is for the random event. 60% for the random event.
Oh, high chance of randomness.
Somebody want to give me a percentile?
I thought Ahmed was doing it. He was looking very intense.
Oh, sorry.
No.
No, I was looking at.
100%.
Okay, so that's 80%.
Their head comes completely off on this critical.
right. There will be a random event either next turn or the turn after. For show.
I roll 101 on the D100.
Right. You're like, no, not now. Don't interrupt this this weird 3-way adventuring or this 3-way RP encounter. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I see that there are some people probably here to see you. Oh, yes, there is, says the custodian, and he straightens his robe a little bit as they stand up from the bench where they're sitting down. The magistrate.
Arlen, is it an elf thing to have like really magnificent eyebrows?
Yeah, I think some of them grow that way. I wouldn't know. Why do you ask?
Well, see what your eyebrows look like when you're old. That's what he says. He bobs his head as he walks by and disappears into the courthouse.
I like your eyebrows.
He just kind of gives you a wave, like yeah, whatever.
Arlen slightly nods at Camus Ward, and if he wants us to come along, he'll.
Camus Ward is he kind of straightened his robe a little bit. He only half sat up or like sat at the edge of the seat, and he's still sort of like lost in thought about something. When you wave, he waves and taps the seat beside him.
Sam Ford.
He begins to stand up, however, when he sees Phineas approaching with you. He glances at Phineas, and he stands more alert.
He senses an intellectual equal.
Comes Vyedd.
What else say?
Thank
Camus
you
Vyedd
for,
has got haphazard clothing. You probably think that nothing matches because it's all magical.
Probably, yeah, that happens.
the green and the yellow. Just no.
His staff is gnarled. It does have like a golden like petal flower at the end of it. His hat is just probably his favorite thing. It looks well worn. His beard is completely unkempt. In fact, you think there are little potions and spell components tied into various parts of his beard.
Oh, okay.
His robes are billowy, like he's wearing several layers worth of it. He does have a powerful elven ring, though, that just immediately stands out at you.
Okay.
Give me a knowledge arcana.
Yeah, okay. Knowledge arcana. His knowledge arcana is, and I'm going to get aid from my familiar that's attached to my back right now.
Yep. It could cause at you a little bit from tattoo form.
Yeah.
Caw.
Dookie dookie.
Automatically helps, so.
Sam slaps him. Something on your back.
There's something moving.
55.
All right, so you identify both of the rings as they both have histories. One is the coronal seal, which makes him effectively anyone who wears this the most powerful person in Terraslene. He has command over the mythal with the ring, as well as other protective powers. And then on his right hand, he has something that typically the arch wizard of Terraslene would wear. It is a quadruple-banded ring of wizardry.
Okay. Okay.
Wow.
It's 4 rings of wizardry in one. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
That is, I'm. Phineas is trying to turn over a new leaf, but there's a part of him that's thinking if he died.
There's a little Damien in him.
You know that both of these rings were worn by elves that both died during the last Shadow War and the subsequent conquest of the Imperium, and that both of those positions have never been filled in Terraslene because it got quickly renamed to Citadel by the Lake.
Yeah. Phineas gives him a bow.
Yep.
Master Vyedd?
I don't believe we've met.
No.
My apologies.
He plants his staff into the ground. It grows little tendrils and kind of like grows into the ground. It finds little cracks in the stones and just sort of stands like completely upright. And he goes over to you and then offers to shake your hand.
Phineas shakes his hand. I am Phineas.
Which is
Garrett.
very odd. He should have just drawn his arcane sigil in the air before you. He's not very formal.
Phineas will just accept that the guy with the uber ring of wizardry and the mythal controlling ring wants to shake his hand.
Yep. His hand is smooth with age. He does not have calluses. He's not that type of wizard.
Maybe if I'm nice to this old man, I'll go up again. Level up again.
Phineas Garrett. You are the Grand Mage of Vanderpool. He looks at you. You couldn't be over the age of 30.
No, I'm actually only 24.
Oh my. I'd rather be embarrassed if I told you what I was doing when I was 24. How old is Sam?
I don't know what I'm going to do when I'm 24.
Quite embarrassed indeed. And he raises his eyebrow and smiles at Arlen.
Yeah, Arlen is 125.
Sam would be either 19 or 1, depending on how you count age when you've been reincarnated.
Your physical body is chronologically 1.
Well, yes, I suppose I am a bit young for the position, but
And
Master Tacitus seemed to think I was one of the one with the most drive to continue the guild.
I must say that Master Phineas is quite well-read. He knows, I think, everything that I've ever asked him, and even we've come across, he just knows. It's quite impressive.
are you affiliated with any particular faction in the Arcane Parliament?
He kind of he doesn't hide it that
Yeah.
he just thinks like wizard politics is like stupid. Oh no.
Really? Wonderful. That's what he says. Yes, wizards are very good at magic, but sometimes ruling over realms is, well, quite taxing to them. We'd much rather be, working on our latest spell or crafting the perfect wand.
Oh, very much so.
What manner of magic do you... You realize he scooped Phineas under it, like scooped his arm under his arm, and he's walking with Phineas kind of away from Arlen and Sam.
Phineas is quite happy to have another wizard to speak to who's
Yep.
not a dick.
And what are your personal pursuits? What drives a Phineas Garrett when he is alone and has time in his laboratory?
Oh, I am an alchemist as well. Very
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I know a few alchemists around here that you could probably school a lesson or two.
Well, I do focus most of my free time, which is very limited these days, on magic item creation. I find it absolutely fascinating. I've recently read a manual on how to create golems. However, of course, it's rather costly and time-consuming. I am looking forward to creating something soon, though.
Oh, yes, there are wonderful laboratories around here for the crafting of items. I myself have not crafted anything in some time, although he whistles and the staff that he left behind is kind of like tick, 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 kind of walking towards him. I did craft this.
That's next on my list of things to learn.
You see,
Staffs.
my magic blends more with nature magic.
Druid.
Something I don't usually acknowledge, he says.
So, magic is magic.
Magic is magic, and magic of the world itself is very strong, and Terra's Lean is a place of life and wonder.
He kind of looks, his eye drifts to the rings and goes, well, I suppose you would know.
Yes, but magic is my first love.
Oh, likewise. You should meet my apprentice. He's rather good, but don't tell him. I don't want him getting a big head. You know how mages can be. I don't want it starting at a young age.
Yes, I've tried to train those on the same path as myself, but sometimes I find them wandering to their own pursuits. It is a very, very strange path, the path of a druid and a wizard.
I can imagine. It's time in the lab versus time in the woods, groves.
Yes, but as custodian of this wonderful place and this territory, it has served me well. Oh, Arlen, he stops for a moment. Did you want to
Sound
talk about
real
something?
Arlen
Yeah.
ketchup.
Did you want to talk about something?
Yes, but I mean, I didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh, pish posh, you're on a most important mission. Why haven't you gone already?
What are you doing here?
We are still tied down with the responsibilities of fights in the season. There is something I wish to ask you.
Arlen, are there any rules against your gladiators fighting each other?
Yes, they must. The fights must be against other schools, not within the same school.
Knowledge? Just
I believe.
knowledge local? Is that a fact?
Believe.
Yeah, I think you can have them fight each other, like, and gain money and that sort of thing. But the
It's not
fights,
counted
it does not
towards-
count. It does not count as
Okay.
fights
Well,
towards.
yes,
the season.
yes, technically yes, but they do not count towards the seasonal games.
Or you might be able to register one fight, but they would have to be the commissioner giving special dispensation.
Rules. The reason, Commissioner, the reason I come to you is actually quite important. It's if you have noticed that there is our caravan for our ludus has arrived outside of the city.
Oh yes, many people have arrived in Terrasleen. While not all of them are admitted into the palace, the population in the town below is growing.
That is the reason I come to you. Many of the caravan folk have decided to follow the source behind the light, which is the one I follow. And one of the tenets for us is to fight the shadows.
Yes, your
So-
people will be safe here, thanks to your efforts and the bravery of Duncan in retrieving certain things long thought lost.
Yes, that is the reason actually I requested them to come here, and I apologize I didn't speak with you about this earlier. But this is a bit of importance. A lot of people will be coming in from the north.
People are already arriving from the north. There are reports all throughout the lands of the Protectorate of the Citadel by the Lake of people coming from the north, as well as people coming from the territories of the lakes and heading south. Some have come to Terrasleen, some continue their exodus southward bound. Many stories of strange things in the northern countries.
Yes, I am aware. I wanted to send some of my people to bring back the folks that are in the wilds, bring them to the Citadel by the Lake for protection from the from.
You're very brave for thinking to go out there, but I thought you were heading east.
I will request the volunteers from the caravan to go and do that.
Oh, you shouldn't. Any man, woman, or child that we send out there could very well end up as
Your quest awaits.
as their soul turned against us and part of the Shadow Army itself.
So it is imperative that we should bring those out there here as soon as possible.
I don't understand why you would send your favored followers out into the wilderness. If you must, I will not stop you.
No, it is not that. I just wish to guide those that are in danger. But if you're saying they're already arriving on their own,
They are already arriving on their own. For those that are not in places of great protection, then it is up to the gods whether the shadows find them. There are already reports of entire villages and towns in the north disappearing.
then I will prepare I'll prepare the caravan for defenses if things get, if for any reason. I'll prepare them and train them.
You do have a lot of wagons. If you give your wagons to, he has the name, Marty doesn't. Give me a second. To Commander Yevisk, Commander Don Vyedd will, I'm sure, find use for those wagons.
Then it'll be done. Rescue as many folks on the road as they can.
If there are any people that you care about in this world, you should bring them to Terraslene.
I have brought the Countess and her family here.
He glances to Phineas. In particular, if they're anywhere here, between here and the Northern Sea, and to the south, to the Duchy of Vyedd.
I don't have any more family after we were captured. Same goes with my gladiators.
Drakester, thanks for the 17-month sub. That is insane. Just got off work to watch some Die Dragon Die today. Awesome. Good to have you.
Thank you.
Not all of us don't have families, you son of a bitch.
He's already training here.
I'm not saying that's Sam.
Oh.
I think Edward had a family.
Yeah, well, kind of Edward doesn't, maybe he's already paid them a visit.
I suspect the Imperials will be better guarded in the capital against such threats.
I would expect that, yes, they will have...
Tell that to the Imperials that were at the tomb.
I have given fair warning to the ones that are already there. The ludus of the insane Magnus. He told Ashoka about the shadow swarm coming from the north.
Imperial Custodian doesn't seem to know what you're talking about.
And Duncan is obviously well aware of it.
Yes. You should be heading east.
We will be. Thank you.
Okay. Will you be staying long in Terraslene? I'm sure that we could find quarters for you if they haven't already, he says to Phineas. He doesn't know Phineas is going on your little quest. That's why he keeps on referring to it as going east and quest.
I actually, I'm going with Arlen as an advisor on his travels. However, my apprentice has come to Terraslene. His Elven is a little shoddy. I'd like him to practice it. If he could perhaps use your library for study, I would be most grateful.
Nonsense. I will look after your familiar Excuse me. Everything is a familiar when you're a druid wizard. He laughs. The sun is rather hot today. I will look after your apprentice while you are gone. I will give him a tour that only a wizard could give another wizard.
Oh, I'm sure you will like that very, very much. Oh, and the dog is housebroken. Best dog ever.
A familiar?
No, he is a conjurer, and though I tried to introduce him to the world of alchemy, it was not his passion.
It appears that us grand wizards sometimes outsmart ourselves and have to allow the flowers to grow like the flowers they are.
Yeah, it seems. The boy does seem happier, though. He's picked up summoning. In the more...
Oh. A conjurer in our midst. I will have to make sure that he is of the right variety.
Custodian Vord, the city wizard, he's really smart, but he's never been outside the city.
That's not true. I've been outside the city. I traveled from Vinvossa to Vatapole on a wagon.
He hasn't been in like an ancient tomb or surrounded by ghosts before. Can you help make certain he doesn't get dead? Do you have anything that can help him with that?
I know a great deal about the undead, I'll have you.
He kind of is about to cast a spell, but he's asking Phineas's permission first.
Of course.
Okay.
Phineas acquiesces.
He casts a spell, spellcraft check, DC 21.
Makes it.
He cast Arcane Sight.
Okay.
He's just glancing over your gear and maybe peering into your magic soul to figure out what level spells. He raises an eyebrow when he looks at Phineas. Is there anything in particular do you think that you would need?
Well, let's see. Adam, help me out here.
I have something. It will be a bit of a gift from me to you.
There we go.
Should you not need it during the course of your adventure, you could copy it down into your spellbook. And he kind of like goes like this into his own beard, pulls out a little swan made out of paper, like an origami swan, and hands it to you.
Thank you.
Be very careful when unfolding the swan. It has a very particular scroll upon it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Master Board. And just to show off himself a little bit, a little inky hand comes up from inside his robe, grabs it, and goes back in, puts it in the inside pocket.
Oh. Familiars.
Oh,
Cap-
no, that would be Nyx, and Nyx flies out his collar.
Oh, you have an extra arm?
Yeah, I have an extra arm. It's just a tattoo for...
The legendary beard of holding. Yeah,
It's a handy haver beard.
Handy haver beard. That's awesome. All right, Godiva sees all of you chit-chatting. Camus Vord goes away. Does Godiva approach?
Yes. Arlen!
Oh, for fuck's sakes. Flight. Hey, Godiva.
Sam will grab you, pull you back into the chair.
Hello, Godiva.
Arlen, it has been too long, darling. How have you been?
I've been well, thank you. How's your training been coming along?
Oh, excellent. She climbs up on Mr. Prancy Pants and jumps off onto the carpet. This is very comfortable. And she's like lying on it, like with her legs showing.
Oh, he's on his chair today.
Oh, he's on his chair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then it's Garland's lap.
Yeah.
Garland's lap.
Arlen, would you like to see a new dance I learned? I'm a bard now. I can
really?
sing and I can dance. And she starts singing a song and doing a lap dance on Arlen.
Oh, like... Well, I have to do this straight. That. Is it...
And the
Oh,
nymph
fantastic.
said, "Ah," and the nymph said, "Ah."
Shuddering. I'm losing wisdom. Oh.
This is I think I heard this song at the elf place.
Okay, Mr. Prince Pants is sort of like just dancing around. I don't know if Phineas has ever seen Godiva before.
He's just looking like this.
Oh, funny.
Phineas, meet our bard, our resident bard.
Greetings, creature. Oh, hello. What lovely tattoos you have. She's holding out her hand, and Phineas is just kind of like, with two fingers shaking it. Greetings. I am Phineas Garrett, Grand Mage of Vadapole. That was being a bard, was it? Yes, I'm very good, don't you think? I have many faults. So many faults. She's coming with us, is she?
She's good is one of the thoughts, right?
Of course. I have some studying I think I need to do. Why don't you let me know when we're ready to go, or if you need my help with something. Oh, she's coming closer. I have to go. He just kind of scuttles off.
Are you picking up Edward's body?
We're only gonna take some of his hair.
So
We don't
I
need his
thought we were
whole-
returning it to.
are we returning it to his homeland? Sam grabs the whole body.
Okay.
Yes.
It is in a coffin-like sarcophagus. You could just grab the whole thing.
You're gonna grab the whole thing?
Okay. You,
Does the
you
question, does
you
the-
shut the lid and it's on a hinge and.
Does the sarcophagus itself have the magic of what's it called?
Gentle
repose? Or is it the area itself?
I don't know. Let's see. 1 is the area. 3, it's just spells. 2, it's the coffin. It's the area that you're in.
Okay, so the gentle repose lasts for I think level per.
Yeah, in this case, it'll last until Edward's body is removed from the room.
Yeah, if you just need to prep a spell once every 10 days.
And I think Radamer has that spell.
I'm sure he does.
We'll ask him to.
Our dual clerics, one of them being a necromancer Thurge, probably could solve this issue.
Yep. In fact, I will just always make a gentle
Would
repose.
you like him to walk?
Would you like to walk home?
It's so awesome. Gentle repose is what level? Second.
First, isn't it?
It's a second.
Second? No.
He will dump his cure moderate wounds for a gentle repose.
Okay, if you guys want to take a quick look.
Oh, he gets it
Arlen,
as a domain spell. Never mind.
If you guys want to take a quick look, I've pulled out some weapons, resistance items, things like that that were just lying around in our inventory.
Where they
And
know.
they are, if anybody wants to pull them out, Arlen has no problem, but it's under the weapons. Sorry,
Party pages?
under leadership. Arlen's congregation. If you look underneath that little square, you'll see a weapons provided by Arlen, and you'll see weapons. Actually, be items provided by Arlen. Have a look through it. If you want to pull anything out back into our Doomsday sheet, go ahead. No problemo.
Oh, I see.
We probably want the Amulet of Mighty Fists +1.
Mighty Fists.
We probably want the Bead of Force.
Yep.
We probably want the Necklace of Fireballs.
Okay. Bead of Force. Necklace of Fireballs. Okay.
The Oil of Magic Weapon is a really good thing to give them.
Phineas will take the alchemist fire and the vials of acid.
You know,
Okay. Copy that into.
I
Phineas's
will.
sheet.
Yeah.
the
There's a +2.
the 2+2 friggin' Earthbreakers are things we probably should sell and use that money to get things of use.
Of value. Okay, so I'll take those +2, and the Merciful and the Earthbreaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pull
Those were more
out.
Tenzi's weapons.
Yeah.
Too bad for that son of a bitch. Marty, I could give it to them and ask and tell them to sell it and purchase other +1 weapons. Or is that okay with you guys, or do you guys want to use it?
You're running the finances. It's just
Are the finances, the fights, the travel arrangements? This is
Or-
bullshit.
there's a bunch of stuff that's kind of bullshit.
All right, so your party has gathered in the visitor quarters of the Palace of Terrazline. Everyone's got their equipment. Looks like everyone's about ready to go. Sam has got the body. Radamer opens it up and simply casts gentle repose upon Edward's body.
Thank you, Madama.
For a second there, I was visualizing him like opening up the body.
We'll see what
His skin, however, is really, really gray. Like it you could tell that something necromantic happened to him.
He looks like Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Which city are we going to first?
Would you like me to switch to a map?
Yes, and actually, let's pull out the people who are teleporting so we can count how many we need.
Okay, so you are in Tarsleen. Tarsleen, you could go to Vatapol. That is somewhat east. Where are the other places you've been? You could go to Giant's Well, where the where Lady Opal's husband's manor was, and this is where you found the face of Palor in the Giant's Well grotto. Vyedd is where Sam was reincarnated.
Mm.
Yep. Is that still within the Duchy of?
That is the capital city of the Duchy of Vyedd.
Not Vyedd though.
Nope.
No.
Fuck.
The border's probably somewhere around here.
Giant's Well would be okay.
Yep.
We're not having fights there.
Teleporting to Vyedd is 80 divided by 5 is 16. 16
You
times
can have a fight in
60.
Fallen Stone.
Yeah, Fallen Stone is within.
Or you can just never return to the Duchy of Vyedd and say, "Screw you, Commissioner."
960 miles to Vyedd. You can teleport there, Arlen.
It'll just make the end of season, like the end of year games, really awkward.
Okay, so Fallen Stone. Remind me, what did that place look like? Is that where?
Fallen Stone is where the pit of the bear is
Right.
where you fought the Minotaur, where Mortenzi died and spoke to Zorbinius.
It's where Sam got his hand chopped off.
It's where Sam got his hand chopped off.
A lot of
It's where
stuff.
the extremely racist tavern owner was, Paul the Human.
Yep.
I think it's time to pay him a visit. We actually
We teleport right into Paul's.
as much as we need to head west and find this clock, we also
East.
need to set up fights. So
You do also need to be back in Vatapol in 2 weeks because Beric Tarn's in the final match of the tournament.
yes, I know. So Lakeport? Oh, we don't want to go to Lakeport ever again.
Lakeport is where you fought the Ochobo and
Where we killed a lot of funny stuff.
yeah.
happened.
I kind of want to go to Lakeport.
I'm cool. We'll go to Lakeport.
Archer? What about
Yeah, listen though. You need 2 fights. You hit Lakeport, you hit Fallen Stone, then we're on our way. Everybody gets their 2 fights, and we're out of here.
Does that sound fair to everybody?
Lakeport is in the Citadel. Oh no,
Duchy of
actually
Vyedd.
no, it is in the Duchy of Vyedd. It's the border.
Does that sound fair for everyone?
No, it's
By
not.
Lake-
Because bad things happen in
that's right,
Lakeport,
you're right,
and then
you're right,
you went to the Citadel to do it. So yeah, Fallen Stone, somewhere between Fallen Stone and Lakeport is the border between.
So Fallen Stone and then what? Fucking Vatapol.
I think there was also the possibility to like military encampments.
After Beric Tarn's fight, there are still 7 weeks in the season, including Beric Tarn's week. There are 8 weeks left in the season.
We could set up fights for people in Vatapol. Same week as Beric Tarn.
That is also an option.
Are there fights in the moor?
Knowledge, I guess.
In
I
the
don't know if
moor,
it's
near the
nobility or
cleft of
that-
Kelmar, that's where all the trolls were, probably.
There was a little town there.
There was a little town. Yeah.
Marty, knowledge. I don't know if it's local or nobility. Is there anything Phineas can do as Grand Mage of Vatapol to excuse them from this nonsense, or what he sees as nonsense?
Hey, Arlen apologizes. Like, I apologize, but in order to be able to go do these things, we have to do these things first. So
Yeah, give me a knowledge local.
it's a waste of time, but
Duchy of Vyedd or
Duchy of Aid.
paid.
I also have knowledge Vatapole, but which would be better? He's gonna take. No, I guess it doesn't work that way.
He's not a bard.
No, I was gonna say I was gonna take my cognatogen before I think about this, but it doesn't really work that way. That's not how thinking works. Fuck. 24.
You're wrong.
24. Well, you know of a fight that you could actually set up. You could, if you have the spells, summon appropriate monsters of their caliber in any town or city in the Duchy of Vyedd, and that would probably count for at least one fight for each of the gladiators.
Okay. Then we'll have one at Fallen Stone.
I will learn summon monster 6, I guess, is what we need. 5 or 5. I don't know what I need for them, but
Okay. So during that week of downtime, let's say that if Arlen pays for it, you need a 6th level scroll and a 5th level scroll, and you'll have summon monster 5 and 6.
5 and 6. Yes.
Now you'll likely need to find a judge who will agree based off of the tier of the gladiators and the monsters that you're going to summon. So this may involve peeling off gear to get the level of to get the level of the of your gladiator down. Let me just have a look at summon monster 6 though.
As long as Roper's not in that list.
So we'll have a fight. We'll have a fight in Fallen Stone, and we'll also have a fight with Phineas's summons.
We just need another wizard called Phineas that could also summon.
I could summon, but that's fine.
Yeah, a single.
Chickens.
Some of you would destroy a single elephant. Oh, there are some things in there that are pretty bad.
You probably have to pick something that's a good counter to the character that.
Yep. A fiendish dire tiger, a fiendish triceratops.
What? Phineas, what the fuck?
Phineas, what alignment are you? You're lawful neutral, right?
He's lawful neutral. I'd like to think he's on the verge of swinging to lawful good, but not quite there.
He's lost his racist edge.
Yeah, well,
experience.
he and you can thank Zed for that, 'cause, and a few others.
Remember those bow devils, those female bow devils you fought? And actually, Phineas wasn't there, but I guess the players, you could summon one of those with
I have knowledge frames. I can figure that out. Yeah.
Okay. So you're pretty sure as Grand Mage of Vatapole, you could just make that happen. You don't know how often you can get, like, you don't know if you could do this for their entire 3 fights. Probably 1 fight per gladiator.
Okay.
Okay, where to now?
So we can go set up a fight in Fallen Stone, and where do we want to have that other fight with Phineas? We could also have it in Fallen Stone as well. Now, did the what's his name? The guy with the chains.
Kythen?
Kythen, yeah. Did he say that he wants all the fights in Vatapole?
No, they have to be in Vyedd. Though he would probably prefer
Something
Vatapole.
He said if you guys fought with the intent of the match, that he might be willing to let you schedule your own fights, is what he told you.
I'll be right back. Which means you need to talk to him.
Okay. We'll head to Vatapole. We will schedule a fight. We'll see if the Beast Tamers have anything that we can fight.
Okay,
And
so
one with the summons.
who's going to Vatapole?
Oh wait, who shouldn't be in Vatapole? I think Phineas shouldn't be in Vatapole. such a fucking pain in the ass.
How do you like it? Solve the problem.
Fucking pain in the ass. You're all in the same city. Okay, so we'll take Ugg, Sam, basically a couple of the gladiators. We'll head to Vatapol.
Hey, Arlen,
Sam.
we should take Godiva.
Oh yes, bring Godiva along.
No, there's a bunch of goblins that are like talking about her funny.
If
Yeah,
Phineas
sure,
is
bring him
arranging our fight, shouldn't he come?
Phineas, are you alright heading back to Vatapol for this fight?
Duke, just reminder, Duke.
I am supposed to be in Terrazline studying. I really can't.
Right.
Then we should bring Godiva so she can talk to the goblins, because they all like, ooh, there's a Godiva.
I do
bring
have
it-
a way with men.
We'll bring Godiva.
Well, what
Phineas,
about goblins?
we're gonna go and set up a
Same.
fight. We'll go set up a fight for the same week that Baraktan will be back, which would be wasted regardless. We'll set up a fight for that same week, and then we'll start heading. We still need another third fucking fight.
Yeah, we need 3 of them.
Suggestions. The beasts?
Do the year-end games count?
No, they don't.
Well, why don't we? Well, we could fight anybody. Why don't we fight?
Who? Who exactly can we fight?
Well, they. Well, I
Ajax
guess
thinks that I wanted him dead. You
we
know
did give him
how
a cursed sword.
you know how Magnus and the others feel about us.
Well, what about the knights then?
I guess we could fight the knights. All right.
There's the new guys. We can also fight the new guys.
We could speak with them. We have had a good rapport.
Although their dude died, so maybe that's what I mean.
It
Head
wasn't
broken off
an
by a
hour.
shield.
That wasn't an hour round. All right, we'll head to Vatapol to set up fights for the week with Baraktarn, and then hopefully a week after that, or as soon as possible. As soon as possible after that.
Okay. I'm gonna grab your tokens. Actually, I
There's also the monks. We could have a punchy contest with the monks.
That would work well.
There you go, just some bruises and split lips. No one has to die.
Okay, Arlen, you teleport back to Vatapol with
Yep.
Ugg, Sam, and Godiva. Okay.
It's got mage armor running, just let you know.
That's fine. Prudent.
What's
Brings it from, like,
Phineas's
12
walk around AC just
12
for
to 16.
funsies?
It's garbage.
Is it at like 12?
Non-existent.
14?
Hang on. I actually have to look it up. I honestly don't know. It's 15.
15?
Yeah.
That's pretty good, man. Arlen's yeah.
I'm sitting all the time.
Yep.
So gankable. Look how gankable you are.
Yeah.
Gankable.
Fireball.
You need an adult.
Fireball.
Why do
By
I?
adult, it's a big burly bruiser with a good initiative.
Fireball you with my little finger here.
Oh no!
All right. Where do you teleport
Spell
to?
failure.
Where do you teleport to?
Just the area where we stayed.
Sunrise
Our
House.
stable.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then give me a percentile.
Yeah.
Okay. Who do you arrive at the Sunrise House? This is like almost the same day that you left because of the fights that you just had. And who do you go speak to first?
We'll go speak with the monks.
Okay. Any particular branch of the monks, or you go directly to the Tower of Contemplation to speak to Grandmaster Cyril the Wise?
Cyril.
Cyril.
We'll see him.
And Master Cereal.
Cyril.
Cornflakes captain of Cocoa Puff.
Dude, you'll feel great. So I can't remember what he says.
Okay, you meet with him, you wait for a little while, or you like request to meet with him, you wait for a little while, and then eventually a monk, a more senior monk comes and approaches you and says, apologies, but apparently there is some complication.
Oh, what seems to be the problem?
We looked into certain missives from the commissioner, and apparently all fights must be negotiated through him for your ludus. We are sorry. We don't want any part of this.
No problem, no problem. I understand. It was, I'll sort this out with him. No worries.
Yep.
Thank you.
Give me a diplomacy check to see if you leave on good terms. Effectively, they may think that you were trying to use them to get around the commissioner's
30.
order.
Give me a sec. Just gonna check. I think it's 30. 31.
Okay. They apologize. They seem to be apologizing more than you, but their hands are tied. You also get the sense motive.
Day of tens.
I'm gonna-
20.
20. They are wary or maybe even frightened of the commissioner.
Okay. Well, let's. Seems we need to speak with the commissioner, gentlemen. And Godiva.
You mean the asshole that yelled at us with the chains?
Yeah, that exact same bastard.
I don't like him.
You and me both.
He likes fighting. Except he's got a devil plant. I don't like devil plants.
Let's just do the deed. Get it
I
done.
bet your hat likes devil plants.
Oh, are my my 2 orbs?
Yeah.
Fuck it, I got 2 orbs.
You brought your orbs with you?
You have the head count?
Not
This will be
that-
interesting.
No, I don't actually. No,
No, do it. Bring one.
I'll put here if they want to. No, stay here. We don't need a ruckus.
Arlen,
I had enough warning
Arlen.
already about these
Arlen,
things.
Arlen, do it.
Who's that? Who's saying this?
Just do it.
Mark is saying
Marcus.
No, we go see the commissioner. No,
Just take the shit.
no,
Just disturbs them.
no broken angel
Okay.
notes.
And you're bringing Godiva with you.
Yep. Stay outside.
Okay. You notice that somebody has arrived at Vatapole jail. It looks like some officer from the Duke's. It looks like one of his guard. Seems to be going on a tour to pick out hardy-looking men out of the Vatapole jail. There seems to be a whole kind of like lineup sort of inspection going on when you arrive at the Vatapole jail.
Mark, your chips are very crunchy.
Eventually, you find yourselves in the office of Kython. 1, he is unavailable. 3, he's completely available. 2, there's somebody. Okay, Kython is currently unavailable.
Taking one of those devil shits takes a while.
We're sorry. Would you like to make a an appointment? Says a scared-looking Hin in a simple rough spun tunic, and he has a placard with his skills written on it in Imperial.
We would
High
like
Imperial.
to speak with Kython as soon as possible.
Yes,
In regards to setting up matches.
and you are Arlen, acting Lannister of the Circus of Dread.
Correct.
What is this in regards?
Setting up fights for my gladiators.
Negotiating fights for gladiators. For this season?
Yes.
For autumn season.
Is this injured at all?
Where? No, it's just very officious, orderly, and frightened. Where can you be reached?
We will be in our ludus. I give him the.
And that is the Chateau de la Plume? No, the building beside it. What is it called?
Correct.
Sunrise House.
House.
Oh, all right. Okay. You will expect a reply in the next day or so from the commissioner.
All right. We will be waiting. Thank you. "24 hours later."
He seems scared.
Sense motive. What was he scared of? Us or the commissioner or?
Just generally hating the lot of his life.
Yeah. Didn't even have to roll. Cool. On his sleeve.
He was afraid of screwing up.
There's a chance that his boss might be a bit of a dick. I don't know.
The bunch of chaotic neutrals show up at the lawful evil guy's office. What can go wrong? Okay, so you're gonna just spend the day in the Sunrise House waiting around?
Yeah.
Okay, give me...
I want to speak with Ajax.
Okay, on the way back, you're gonna stop off at Ajax's Union Barracks.
Or we could send him a message to meet at the Elven.
The dented helmet has not burned down yet. That's in the future.
So I want to send him a message. Send Ajax a message to meet that evening at the Elven bar.
Okay. Okay. Give me a diplomacy check as you send a sending to Ajax.
Yeah. $41, not 20.
Yep, he agrees to meet, but he says you guys should meet at the Cornmeal and Cobbler.
Because he's probably been kicked out of the retreat. I'm just guessing.
Sure.
No, he says the Drunken Boot.
Sure, where is that?
In the north part of town?
And what do I know about it?
It's fancy.
Is it fancy?
No, it's the Drunken Boot.
It is not
dude.
fancy. Yeah, I did like what?
Is it fancy? I like fancy.
Okay, when you guys arrive there, his gladiators are already at the Drunken Boot, and you can see that there are a bunch of knocked out assholes in the alleyway leading up to this ramshackle of a building. They've taken over half of it, and it looks like Ajax brought all of his goons with him.
Okay. Before coming here, I was gonna teleport back, grab 15 talents, and come back here.
Sure.
Thank you, Edward. This is coming off Edwards.
Okay, you pulled some money off of Edwards.
Awful creature.
We're off to go see his family. We're not returning their money to them.
Okay, there are a couple of regulars that are chatting with Kane of Groomsh, and you realize that there's something in a big cauldron that's half dripping, half not. Chanticleer is playing with a bunch of like a fiery, like a candelabra, and it looks like he's playing with the flames. Wazrog is drinking out of a trough. It's actually pretty good. And Ajax is just waiting there, and he's sharpening a sword.
There's a lot of them.
You're pretty sure that the guys standing out in the street, there's about 4 of them, are just like lower rung gladiators from the Independence. They kind of recognized you, and they're just sort of waiting for like any shouting or signs of signs of skullduggery.
We're there to go see them. I'm there to go see Ajax.
Hey, the cripple's here, says Wazrog. Yeah.
Hello, Wazrog. I don't know how that sounded.
Yeah, this place has steps and no ramp, so Ugg and Sam basically take one side of the chair and lift you in and prop you down.
He's been waiting for an excuse to kill Wazrog since he scared him off from the pits below.
Yep. The barbarians on the outside and on the inside are a bit confused when they see Godiva and the prancing Mr. Prancy Pants. The bartender kind of like, hey, send your mount outside. Got enough shit in here as it is. And there's a bunch of laughs.
He doesn't poop, except for rainbows and joy.
Okay, there's like silence that hangs in the air, and then there's this guffaw of laughter. Give me a perform comedy.
She does not have perform comedy.
Charisma?
Yeah, pretty much. Hello, Modron.
No, lowercase d, Mark. Your D is too big.
Oh.
Too big.
I hear that all the time.
Yeah, especially around the gaming table.
Alright, so they kind of looked at you and they gave you the benefit of the doubt at whether they're high or drunk or a little bit of both and just don't care. They don't seem to make an issue of it. Ajax stands up. His great blade just sort of like goes over his shoulder.
So,
Ajax.
Sam's going to put himself between Arlen and Wazrog. Just dead.
They call you a giant. He's like measuring the top of your head, and you're like coming up to his nipple. He grabs his own nipple.
Well, you see, it's not about how big around you are. It's about how hard you punch.
Oh, I can punch pretty hard.
Maybe we'll get to see it in the future.
Hey, Ajax, can we have a head punching match?
Now, boys, there's no need to impress me. It's fine. You're all beautiful to me.
I've got like, the saddest, deadest look in his eyes.
So, I punch you in the head, you don't move, and then you punch me in the head, and I don't move.
Why do you get to start?
Well, I guess we could flip a coin for it.
This is what I live for.
Does
Day
not
in,
not
day
move
out.
means flat-footed, right?
Not move, just probably roll a 20 and don't roll a 1. Maybe flat-footed, yeah, I guess.
Does it mean sneak attack?
Probably.
That's not a face punch, though. That's like a throat punch.
Eye socket collapse.
You gonna let them have their fun? Says Ajax to Arlen.
Yes, I do.
All right, Sam's up for it.
Hug says, "Be careful." Alright, gotta look up Wazrog's stats.
While they're setting up, the reason I came here.
Yeah, have a drink, says Ajax. He kind of just puts a flagon of something foul smelling in front of you. He puts one down for Ugg, and the bartender also puts one down for Godiva.
Godiva will take it.
Yeah, Arlen
Okay.
will.
It is effectively grog.
Oh my. This is not fit for a lady.
Bartender kind of pours it out and pours some like lowbrow wine, probably mixed with something else.
There we go. That's more like it.
Ajax clinks Arlen's glass and downs half the mug. It's more like a wooden flagon.
Yeah, Arlen will drink what he can.
Okay. Oh, it's wretched.
I heard about what happened. I apologize.
Okay, Ajax. Not while there's fighting. And everyone's kind of standing outside in the street, whooping and hollering and having a good look at Sam and Wazrog about to just beat the piss out of each other.
Looks at Ajax. Looks at Ajax. 2 talents on Sam.
Yeah? Wazrog's pretty big. He's pretty thick.
I will distract Wazrog with my hypnotic movement.
Are you actually using a power?
He starts dancing. Ooh, it's like a belly dance type thing
with the little finger chimes. Okay, give me a perform dance.
Okay. This will also be her bardic performance to help Sam.
No. He's no. Arlen's like, no, Godiva.
I'll let her. It was fine.
Hang on a sec.
So,
powers.
we're going to be using that move action to grant ourselves vital strike and weapon specialization Puncherino.
Yeah.
As if it's punch each other in the head once each time.
Just once.
She hits a 20.
To the victor goes the spoils. And Wazrog's scratching himself in a weird way.
Oh, you roosed him.
It's been a while since I've had a goblin, is what he says.
Oh no, Sam, punch him in his engorged member.
Supposed to be a head punch. Oh, wait a second.
All right. The ogre barbarian has a flat-footed AC of 18.
Because never flat-footed.
5 from natural, 1 from deflection, -1 from size, and -2 from rage. That doesn't make sense. That's not math. He is wearing armor. Oh, that's where it comes from. Okay. Yeah, 18 is his... I'm assuming Sam is also wearing his armor, or...
Well, if we're having a face punch contest, I could take my armor off.
Yeah, okay, he'll take his armor off. We'll take our
off.
armor off. So flat-footed AC for Wazrog FF is 13.
Okay. So Sam is going to crank his shoulders around, and he's going to knock out blow Wazrog with a vital strike.
All right, so 50-50. Just give me a d20 roll. We'll say that one of the patrons is flipping the coin. Higher gets to go first. So this is Wazrog, 12.
Oh, Wazrog goes first?
Yep. And what is Sam's flat-footed AC?
Without armor, Sam's flat-footed AC is 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Okay, Wazrog.
And that's him choosing not to have his dex. Like, he's losing his dodge bonuses on purpose.
Yep. Wazrog has a plus... Oh, what is this? Plus 17. When he's power attacking, that becomes plus 15. And then, I don't know, he doesn't have improved unarmed strike, so plus 13.
Technically there's AOs, but I'm not going to take them.
Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, that's right. Just AOs. There's no minus. Like, he can still punch. So,
well, he would have to take a penalty if he wants to do lethal.
Got it. That's fine. Just beating the piss out of you is fine. He thinks that's funny. So that is plus 17, plus 15. Okay, Nem. So this is what basically you want to roll is a d20 plus 15, and you may want to copy past due that. After we get all of our special attacks out of the way, we might just roll a whole massive array of these things. Okay, and then his damage.
Oh, that's a hit.
So 1d20 plus 15, and his damage, he is a large creature, so that's d4, plus his strength of 10, power attacking is -2, so plus 4, so
10 plus 14.
d4 plus 14.
Or d4 plus 14, yeah. Good.
Go ahead, Nim.
So without crits, I can take 5 of these.
Wham! He takes 15 non-lethal as Sam barely moved at this, but his face is all kind of scrunched in pain.
That's okay.
You're including the if I was pretty, I'd say not the face. He's just leaning in.
My turn. Sort of pop the shoulders.
You need a stool, little man.
I can jump. We're gonna power attack, idle strike, weapon specialization, punching, knockout blow.
Okay.
Plus 2 from Godiva.
Plus 15, plus 2, minus 3. AC 28.
That's a hit.
Okay, so he is intentionally making himself flat-footed, so I'm going to sneak attack him. So we're catching him in the temple. So we're doing 4d8 plus 5 for strength, plus 2 for weapon specialization, plus 2 for bard song, plus 6 for power attack, plus 5d6 sneak attack.
Hey, Kenny, how's it going?
So 45 non-lethal damage.
Whoa! Wham!
And a fortitude save or get knocked out.
Oh, you're gonna one-punch Willie him? All right, so with his rage running, he has a D12 plus 14. Go ahead, Nem, given that you've requested to do the rolls for him.
Okay, yeah, no, he's
33. He just comes down with like a ham fist over top of the top of your head. He's trying to knock you out, but he doesn't have any of those special powers. He's just gonna roll to hit. Go ahead, Nem.
What's the DC for the knockout blow, Adam?
it's like 19.
Oh, okay, so you're looking 1 or 2.
It's just fun when it works.
Yeah.
AC 30 is
That's
a hit, and then D4 plus 14. All right, 17 damage, non-lethal on Sam.
Okay.
Bam! Ah!
All right, Sam's going to.
That's number 2, he says, and he sticks 2 fingers in your face.
Sam is going to put 2 fingers up with the shiny hand and club him with.
Oh yeah, he looks at the shiny hand. He smiles at it, and then bonk! He's getting punched across the face.
More than enough to hit. Vital strike, power attack, weapon specialization, bard song, and sneak. 49 non-lethal damage.
80, 94. He's laughing. There's like blood pouring out of his mouth. He's gonna double hand into your head.
It feels so good.
All right, he's in his rage.
You know, Wazrog and Sam might become drinking buddies.
Alright, give me an attack roll. Apparently we're not going to roll till 10. I'm like, he's got 14 rounds of rage, and Godiva's got... Nope, it's going to be over in 2 or 3 rounds. AC 28 is enough to hit.
It's a hit.
D4 plus 14. He's just not built. Like, give him a club and he'll...
Oh, it'll crush my skull in if I don't move.
D4 plus 14. 18 damage on a Sam.
Jesus. So, I'm bloodied.
Yeah, Wazrog got bloodied in that second attack.
This is close. Like...
uh,
The retort. The hit.
Yep, not critical or anything. Because that could have ended all the fights as well.
Yep. Oh yeah, 3 non-lethal.
That is he's not a high enough level barbarian to have DR. Okay, so I was double checking that. That puts him at 147 non-lethal damage. Oh, he's out.
Sam puts his foot on the big belly and strikes a blow.
You just get right in the jaw. Oh! And he kind of like half sits down, falls down. Oh, his head hit the ground pretty hard, and he's just spread eagle on the ground in the northern part of the.
Now, Sam, I know what he said, but you are engaged from what I hear, and I respect the sanctity of marriage. Just know it would have been the greatest night of your life.
What's going on? Think I missed something. Sam will, like...
Kane goes over the bucket of
face
water
down
and like shucks water into Wazrog's face. That doesn't quite work. Chanticleer goes over with some smelling salts and kind of takes something out of his mouth and waves it under Wazrog's nose.
Mr. Ajax, would you like me to wake him up for you?
He shrugs.
No problem.
He puts his sword back into its sheath and just puts it on the table, and then sits down, kind of like in one of those manly sits, like you're kind of like straddling the chair as opposed to sitting in it properly. He just swings his leg over and he sits down. He leans on the back of the chair, and he's looking. He's looking as if like, I will talk to you now, Arlen.
So, Arlen gives him 35 healing. Wazrog.
Okay.
And then on the way on, then he'll give a similar thing, I hope, to Sam. Oops.
Oh, you're actually touching Wazrog awake?
Yeah. Wow! Sam only gets 15.
Sam is not blessed by the light. It's not lethal. It'll go away.
Look at that roll, huh?
Somebody's god doesn't like me.
Okay, Wazrog's barely awake, but that's probably where you want him.
Yeah.
Because I actually think some of those hit points became
lethal,
and then that kind
yeah, because of the rage. The rage.
We'll say he's got 100 non-lethal damage. Wazrog wakes up and is kind of like holding his jaw and just giggling. A little giant fights fucking hard. You cracked my jaw. It hit me in the side of the head. He's not talking very well. He's full of welts.
Well, you know what they say about a busted jaw. Let's get some whiskey in there.
Yeah, you actually have to break out a few coins if you want them to feed you whiskey. Aside from this horrible swill.
It's close enough. Horrible swill it is.
What do you want, Arlen?
I was informed of what happened with the blade that I had given you. I wanted to apologize. This blade, we had obtained it from the season end games field, and we had tested it for magics. And it's what I believed it was. And I apologize. I mean, we would have kept it had we had any barbarians, but none of my gladiators could use it. I apologize that this had happened, especially with you. And he puts 15 talents on the table.
What's this for?
That's how much you gave me for the blade. You shouldn't have to pay for something that... Are you paying like this? And then he takes 2 talents out. That's for Sam.
Give me a diplomacy check. You can add 2 because you added money, and you can also add 2 because Sam... actually add 4 because you actually let one of your gladiators fight.
So 20...
In an unsanctioned street fight, by the way.
Yeah, it's 24...
We might get in trouble for that, by the way.
who's gonna talk? 24, 45.
Sam's outside yelling, "I knocked the big fucker out!"
Yeah.
It was a fight. We weren't supposed to have one.
Godiva's singing. Lots of people
Tell
cheering.
me shut up.
Lots of bets were happening. Fine. Apology accepted.
I'm glad that there were no deaths during that match.
The one outside?
What did he say?
The one outside, he says with a smile.
So how have things been here?
Fine. Sense motive.
Okay. Fuck me. Oh, good to hear. 13.
Yep.
I'm glad. Good to hear.
Is there something else you wanted?
I just wanted to make sure that we were on the right page. We were on the right side. It was a mistake on my part.
That is yet to be seen, is what he says.
Well, we are looking for fights. Unfortunately, I need to go through the commissioner first.
Yeah, your fighters fight well. I'm sure Wazrog will want his rematch against Sam.
We could do that. Definitely set that up. I won't take too much of your time. The bar here, it's like the entire evening's on our tap.
Oh yeah? Is this one guy?
Except for that asshole.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, you get a 100 gold piece bar tab, and they think that they're taking advantage of you.
That's fine. That is fine.
I'll definitely have some brawlers fight Sam. You notice that Ajax glances at Ugg and doesn't say anything about Ugg.
Because Ugg's a murderer.
Killed the barbarian.
We are looking for non-lethal fights.
And you got one outside in the streets, you'll get another one in the arena. Once you fix whatever it is you have to do with the commissioner, be careful, he's a tricky one.
Yes, I noticed that. If you saw the last fight earlier today, it was under interesting circumstances.
Earlier today.
It was earlier today that you guys fought.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys.
The timeline's all screwed up.
Yeah, you guys are teleporting around. So.
Yeah. I'm so confused.
This is the evening of the early morning, or this is the evening of the match. Same day as the Wyverns or whatever.
We'll spend the night and head back out and wait for the commissioner's email.
Okay, so Ajax and his others don't bother you very much, and you've done some work to repair your relationship with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seemed very unsure of trying to get into the ring with your champion.
The murderer.
Okay, give me a D4 -1.
One.
Okay, so you get a message back the next day.
Sure. Okay.
Could have been you just sitting around waiting for the commissioner to call on you. And yeah, you do get your meeting with him. Are all of you going to his office? Actually, no. He wants to have a tour of your ludus. He says he'll come to you.
Oh, isn't that nice?
It's a gentleman. Not nefarious at
Coming
all.
to us.
Yep.
All right. I'll fight. Well, our ludus trains in Terrasleen. Actually, we get the message. Clean up this place. Hurry, hurry, now.
That's funny.
Because nobody's fucking been here, right? Well, actually, no. We've got the.
The place is tended to. Like the servants of the family de la Plume do look after the building.
We'll have them like training outside the yard.
You're gonna do fake training when he arrives? Is that what you're saying? Why are we doing this, Arlen?
Because the commissioner's a wonderful commissioner.
All right, well, Ugg and Sam go and lift heavy things out in the yard to get a little sweat on. And eventually you do hear the marching of boots outside of your ludus. There seems to be some armored men outside the ludus. You hear a rapping on the door.
Okay, we'll go up and open it up. Not Godiva, stay in the corner. Arlen will wheel himself over and open
Okay,
it up.
you kind of awkwardly open up the door. Commissioner's standing there in a fine robe. You can see his chains moving visibly underneath the fine silken robe.
Thank you for coming. Welcome to our ludus.
I haven't had a chance to inspect your training grounds and your gladiators.
Indeed.
If you'd have them step out into the training yard and stand in order of their rank.
Currently, I've only got Ugg and Sam in our ludus. In this ludus. Sam, Ugg, please come out. Ugg first, then Sam. Up.
Where, might I ask, are your other gladiators?
Our caravan's currently in Terrasleen. There, we've trained.
Interesting, he says. He kind of steps by you and has a look around. His guards just remain outside. Where'd your gladiators go? Grizaak and Vlauving.
Vlauving, yes.
Barak
Vlauving
Tarn is
had
fighting very soon.
Yes, I wanted to set up fights for the entire for all the gladiators actually the same week if possible. There
My
are a
original
couple of
question,
ideas.
where are your gladiators?
Apologies. The Grizaak and Vlauveng are back in Terrasleen. Grizaak does not have any fights that need to be done, and he's more trouble to having follow me around in Vadapol than necessary, so I left him there with the caravan, and
Did your Lantern and Archon come to Vadapol with you?
no, they're not here.
Okay.
And Vlauving had recently had his weapons destroyed, so he's looking through the rest of our weapons to see what suits him best.
They're in Terrasleen.
We can have them here very
You mean Citadel by the Lake?
Yeah, Citadel by the Lake. My apologies.
Why would you bring them there? And how did you bring them there?
the same way we were able to come here quickly when we got your message.
You can use magic to transport yourself.
Yes.
Interesting. You can teleport?